on Get Up. Dan Graziano, let's do some quarterback questions. Let's begin in Buffalo. It's all yours.
Does Josh Allen need to repeat as MVP in order for the Bills to make the Super Bowl? He has to at least play at that level. The Bills tell you what's going on. They've drafted one offensive player in the first round since they selected Allen in the first round 7 years ago. Went defense again this year. A lot is on him to make it work with this offense. Fortunately for them, MVP level performance from Josh Allen would not be a surprise.
Yeah, Braz, the answer is no, and here's why. This offense is about efficiency, and let me give you a great stat from Hembo. Last year, they had 13 games, including the playoffs, where they had no turnovers. That is the most since 1933, Bart. That's a long time ago. They just have to be efficient on offense. Go back to those two tight ends, Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox. This is an efficient offense. Josh Allen can just be smart, protect the ball. This is a really good team without being explosive on offense.
All right, that question number one. Graz, your second question is what?
Have we seen the last of Anthony Richardson as the Colts starting quarterback? Very bad news this offseason for Richardson with that shoulder that he had surgically repaired 2 years ago, acting up on him, wasn't able to participate in the minicamp. They're hoping that rest does the trick and he's ready for training camp. But they already brought in Daniel Jones, the veteran, to compete with Richardson for the starting quarterback job. Richardson has averaged 8 games a season over the last 5 years, counting college and the pros. He's got to get on the field or else his time in Indy will end up being short.
Be careful what you wish for. He said he was an alien, and we found out he's not a healthy one. And this is what happens. You think about Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones is a candidate to really be this year's Sam Darnold. Right? He's never been in an environment like this where he had a functional offense, talent around him. You talk about Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, Alex Pierce. I think this can be the rebirth of Daniel Jones. We can see the player that we expect him to become out of it.
Daniel Jones hasn't exactly been the picture of health either. Anthony Richardson's struggling with health, but they might need to fortify that room a little bit.
By the way, rule number one, always get healthy aliens.
Yeah, exactly.
When possible.
That's like easy.
Men in black.
That's right. Last question. What do you have?
Which version of Dak Prescott will the Cowboys get this season? They hope it's the healthy one because when Dak Prescott has played fully healthy seasons, the Cowboys have been a good team. In 4 of the 6 years that he started and finished healthy, the Cowboys have won the NFC East. They managed to win 7 games last year in a year when Dak Prescott, their starting quarterback, was injured halfway through the season. There are pieces in place there in Dallas that could return them to NFC East contention much more quickly than people think, as long as Dak is healthy.
And by the way, they're just 2 years removed from Dak Prescott finishing second in the MVP.
Yes.
I mean, he's been playing well, and Dak Prescott and his new head coach Brian Schottenheimer have only one thing this season.
I want to win a championship. Be damned if it's just for my legacy or it's for this team, for my personal being, for my sanity. Yeah, the legacy will take care of itself. I have to stay with my feet up.
We're going to win. And when we win, our coaching staff is going to get rated, and people are going to come after our coaches because we're going to win.
All right, so I love the confidence that Schottenheimer
Steps ahead.
Every time he's been on the podium, though, he's come out confident. Cowboys fans probably like that. And every team, Mike T, and they're going to tell you, expectations are always to win the Super Bowl. That's not new.
Yeah, that's Brian Schottenheimer. I've worked with him for a while. I love him. And you can see why he has the job he has, Matt, which is he is confident, he's relatable. And look, Jerry Jones, I'm not sure that, I don't know this, but you connect the dots. Obviously, Dak had to sign off on this hire, and you can see why for obvious reasons. And to me now, he's laying out a plan, how they're going to win, and what happens when they do. They're going to have to run the ball, though, for this team to be successful, because the one question mark we have about Dak, guys, is the last 2 out of the 3 years, he hasn't been able to stay healthy. How do you protect the quarterback? You run the ball, and the question is, does Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders cobble enough together for them to be able to run the ball?
I think they would tell you that a lot depends on the offensive line, right? That those backs would be successful if they can get it blocked, which they feel better about their offensive line this year than they did last year. They've invested resources in it, obviously, in the draft. Brian Schottenheimer, not just Dak Prescott, but I think a lot of players were excited about that hire. My understanding is it went over pretty well in the building. So he's a guy that is very well liked and well respected by the players there. And obviously he's bringing some level of confidence to this that I'm sure they're all feeding off of. So it seems to me that the vibes are pretty high in Dallas right now.
And for him to step to the podium and talk like that, look, if a coach is going out there and saying it, people start to believe in it, and belief is a good thing inside the locker room. But as I see is the smirk on your face, the Cowboys, did they get enough done this offseason to be a true contender?
Well, listen, I think so. When you have the offensive talent that you have, then I think you can protect that defense as well if you're going to change the philosophy. But I always say this, don't sell no wolf tickets if you ain't no wolf. Now, you're sitting out there, you want to be the big bad wolf, and you're proclaiming that you're going to get to the Super Bowl, you want to win a Super Bowl, but you have to be self-aware. You have to be self-aware. You have to understand who you are and what perception is of you. Perception can sometimes be reality. Listen, the Dallas Cowboys have gotten away from what they used to be. They've been riding off of the coattails of the 90s teams, and they've been always underperforming, right? They never punch above their weight. Yeah. And to do that, they have to understand they got to bring a level of toughness. And I'm not talking about physical toughness, right? Because we know that they have great players. We know they have a great offensive line in the past. When you think about Tyron Smith and Travis Frederick and all those guys. But they need mental toughness. This is a team that has always been mentally weak because they've been coddled and because things are too nice, right? And remember when Rex came in, he said he didn't want to kiss the ring. Shotty was there. And we went up to Cortland and we became a team. There's one thing to be a collection of talented players. It's another thing to be a team. And to do that, you got to take people, you got to strip them down to the bare bones and build them back up.
I think the mindset changes in the postseason for the Cowboys. When McCarthy run off 12-5, 12-5, 12-5, then they get thumped in the playoffs. So maybe that's where they need to.
That's the question that Dak Prescott and these Cowboys still have to answer. We know they can win the NFC East. We know they can have a good regular season, but then they get to the playoffs and they can't translate that into success. So whatever it is, I mean, I've been to Cortland, New York, and I've been to the Star in Frisco. There's a pretty significant difference between the conditions of those places.
Yeah,
so
I mean, just because we're flexing, I guess you're flexing on how nice Cortland, New York is then, huh?
It's a little more bare bones, the facility there. But maybe that's it. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, these Cowboys with Dak Prescott, even the first year, they had a great team. They got to the playoffs, played a really good game, lost Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. So they have to get over that hump. The questions about the Cowboys don't even start really until January.
Yeah. By the way, it's Friday night. You guys want to get some Wolf tickets?
What is a Wolf ticket?
How much?
What is that?
Hey, what's a goon to a goblin? That's another one for you. Like, don't be selling Wolf tickets if you ain't no tough guy. Don't act tough.
To the NFL, Kels, a couple of unhappy campers roaming the offseason wilderness in the AFC North. Starting in the Natty, where first-round draft pick Shamar Stewart has left Bengals' mandatory minicamp. 17th overall pick in the draft, Stewart is reportedly concerned about unusual language in Cincinnati's offer that could limit his overall guaranteed money. Bengals head coach Zach Taylor addressed the situation following yesterday's practice.
I think for all the rookies, you'd like them to be on the field, but certainly there's things that happen over the course of an NFL career, and this is one of them right now. So he's been in the meetings. He's been positive in that way. He's been learning. He's been a good learner, and we look forward to getting him back on the field quickly. There's education that happens with all the rookies that we do our best to educate them. Number one, we want to protect our team and our locker room, and so I understand when there's frustration there, but that's how he chose to do it, and that's his prerogative, and we look forward to getting him back in the fold.
Yeah, you don't see that a whole lot with the rookies. Meanwhile, we did get a first look at some of the Steelers.